Good night again, Godfrey Johnson Broadcasting Media Incorporated LDD radio brand, and we bring to you again the sight and sounds of the night in Liberty Weekend right here. It's a Saturday night, Sunday night, as a matter of fact, as we move into Jab, and we just want to give you some sight and sounds from the greenhouse. I had to fix my mic, so it's a little better now, all right? We want to say thank you again so much. Please log on to the channel, tell a friend about us, let us know what we do to bring you content. My boy, how you doing?
No,
you coming back?
Yeah.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. This is Godfrey Johnson Broadcasting, live in New York City. Wherever you are, I want to say thank you so much for spending your time with us. As always, we promise to bring the sight and sounds of the Greenhouse 2025. So we're going to take a walk and show you what happened. It's one of the most busiest intersection for Labor Day weekend here in New York. So they call it the Greenhouse, and that's where some of the truck will be leaving for the party. Also, the Jab crew is right here. It's a street that locked down, and this happened nowhere else in Brooklyn, nowhere else in New York. Right? And it's early. We just started here, and we'll show you what happened here. The sight and sounds of the greenhouse. This is all Canadian right here. This is all Canadian right here. Good night to you, ladies and gentlemen. This is how we're going to give you the sight and sounds of the greenhouse here in New York City. As always, remember I promised you earlier that we're going to be here with you to take a look at what is happening here. The time now is a little bit after 12 a.m. in the morning. And everything going to start from here. From here, we're going to make our way to Jab, which is Upper Eastern Parkway, start on Brooklyn Library. From there, make your way all the way down to Flatbush, then get ready for the truck, alright? This is where we right here, Sight and Sounds, New York City, Godfrey Johnson Broadcasting Media Incorporated, LDD radio brand. Please subscribe to the channel. We would love for you to. We want to get 50,000 subscribers by now, and the first of let's say the 1st of January 2025. We want to have 50,000 subscribers. So we're here with you in the intersection, navigating what is happening here on a Sunday night in New York City. Godfrey Johnson Broadcasting Media, LDD radio brand, with you in mind. Thank you again so much for spending your time with us. If you're in Grenada, if you're in the UK, if you're in Canada, if you're in Australia, and the reason why I mentioned some of these countries have to do with where I saw most of my viewers from, and so just want to get a shout out to you. Also, if you are in the Bahamas, in Jamaica, St. Kitts and Nevis, in St. Vincent, Barbados, I call Barbados already. See this on right here in New York City and live around the world. Godfrey Johnson Broadcasting, remember, it's a family channel. You can sit with your family and just look at our contents. You know, we're going to try and avoid some of the obscene language because we know you have your family, which, you know, you try very concerned about at the end of the day. We don't want any question or anything, but sometimes we can't help them. It's a Sunday night in New York, as always. Godfrey Johnson Broadcasting Media, the sight and sounds of Liberty Weekend in New York. St. Vincent flag, Guyana flag. Good night. Excuse me, please, ma'am. Get back a little. This is not just Grenada. We have people here from all Caribbean islands. Every single Caribbean island are here. People from Barbados, as Jamaica, you're going to see different flags here. So it's not necessarily Jamaica. You have people from all walks of life. It's one of the largest gathering of, we could say, Caribbean nationals here in the tri-state area, coming from all walks of life, and they're here with us here. It's a beautiful night. Godfrey Johnson Broadcasting Media Corporate, Ellie the Radio Brand. It's a beautiful night. We have people from all walks of life here. And we're the Jam Jam guy. Yeah. I want to say thank you again so much. Go! We're trying to get a light as much as possible. So at certain part we don't have the light then, so we apologize for that. Sunday night in New York City. Godfrey Johnson Broadcasting Media and be live at the Greenhouse. Everything will be set from here for Jab Jab. They're going to leave from here for the Jab Jab crew. So, you know, please follow us. Please like if you can. We truly appreciate it at the end of the day. This is started by Grenadians here in New York. We've been doing this for years. You know, for years we're doing this. This is one of the drummer guys right here. This is one of the drummer guys right here. Big up. You know? Media Incorporated, LD the Radio Brand, and we're live at the intersection of the Greenhouse, Clarkson and East 53rd Street, Clarkson and East 54th Street for people who know Brooklyn. And I know there's a lot of people that leave New York and they go to places like Atlanta, Boston. As a matter of fact, I want to say special good night to Claire in Boston. Good night to you, Claire. I told you I'm going to bring you all the excitement. Also, I want to say special good night to the diaspora Grenadians live in Texas. We understand that you want to see this type of content, and this is my goal again. So good night to Texas. Good night to Texas. Right, special good night to you at the end of the day. So we do this reunion right here on a Sunday night in New York City as we get ready for Jab Jab. this is the place that you need to be, the greenhouse. And you haven't seen anything yet because it's early in the night, a little bit after 12 o'clock. So most people get there around after 2, 3. All right? Rocky Johnson Broadcasting Media, Corporate Elder Radio Brand. Remember our contents, remember our brand name, you know? Rocky Johnson Broadcasting Media. Live in New York City and live around the world, we're able to be here on YouTube. At the Greenhouse, Robson Avenue, New York City. Sights and sounds of the Greenhouse 2025. And like I said, every year people look forward for that type of celebration for people out there at the end of the day, anywhere in the world. Oh, you're all there, right? Put up on the thing. Send a shout out, send a shout out. Look at the pool, look at the pool. Subscribe. Subscribe to the barcode. Put a picture of it here. Get it? Share it, right? Vinci in the house. Vinci in the up, big up, big up, big up. Special good night, special good night. What one crew, yeah, alright. This is going to right here. It's all about love 2025, and like I said, that's the place that you need to be at the end of the day. There's so much that's going on in the world right now, and I think it's a good thing that people can come together without any violence, just niceness. It's a beautiful night in New York City. I'll be bringing the content of things that's happening in any way, shape, or form right here. I want to say thank you so much for spending your time with us. Please share the channel. And like I said to you, that's a family channel. And you know, anybody can look at it. Bring your kids, bring your loved one. And it's not a channel where we talk about politics and bashing anybody. It's mostly about entertainment and beauty that we try to do at the end of the day. Hey. Dr. Johnson Broadcasting Media, and the sights and sounds of Carnival 2025 right here in New York City. I hope my audio's a little better today. I had to fix my mic, you know, so I hope it's doing a little better. This is going to be here, bringing all the sights and sounds of Carnival 2025. There's a couple of people that I want to reach out to, just to say thank you for your support at the end of the day. And like I said, these people here from Haiti, they're from Jamaica, they're from Guyana, they're from Barbados, they're from Antigua, they're from Nevis and Kitts, Antigua, St. Martins. I mean, the diaspora, everyone is in this corner right here, just gathering, you know, and just enjoying themselves right here in New York City. Dr. Johnson Broadcasting Media, having a radio brand. We have another more light here. Dr. Johnson Broadcasting Media, having a radio brand. You a singer? Huh? You a rapper? You don't want to do that. Take a picture of my barcode for my channel. Take a picture of the barcode for my channel. You're right here live. Dr. Johnson Broadcasting Media Incorporated, the radio brand. Excuse me, please, ma'am. Thank you so much. Special good afternoon to you and live around the world. Remember, this is a family channel, and anybody can look at what our contents is not something that you see your kids can look at. Everyone can look at this contents right here. I want to say thank you again so much. Again, I want to say thanks to Clay in Boston, and again to the diaspora in Texas, in Las Vegas diaspora, those in Jamaica, especially tonight to you. Like I always said to you, the best thing to do is to look at our content on one of your big screen TV. You get a better view of it than if you just look at your phone or tablet or your cell phone. It's better if you take a look at it at your, like a 60-inch TV or a 70. The bigger the television is better for you to really get the juice of what we're doing and to really enjoy. And on this channel, we'll be bringing a lot of contents and comedy. I have some inspiration to do a reality show. One of the things that I want to do on this channel, I want to go homeless on the street for a month just to see how people are going to react to me. You know, so I want to stay tuned for that. I think you're going to like it. Just go on the street for a month homeless. Just cause myself that nobody's going to know who I am and document myself on the street. I have to be careful with reviewing because I don't want any issues with YouTube. Like I said, this is a family channel and we want to keep it as clean as possible. So sometimes I have to shy away from some of the scenery that we see at the end of the day. But we can see what's not seen with everywhere the brand, especially at night here in New York City and live around the world. Broadcasting Media Incorporated Elevate Your Brand. I'm right here at the intersection of 54 and Clarkson, the greenhouse. We're going to try and do like an hour. I know we can split it up a little bit right here. Right here in New York City and live and beyond. Rocky Junction Broadcasting Media, Elevate Your Brand here in New York City, live around the world. said to you, there's a lot that's happening in the world right now, and I saw a niche, inspiration to bring entertainment, something that you could sit with friends and family on a Sunday evening, or just a Saturday night having a cup of coffee and having a drink, and you're looking at us on the flat screen TV on one of your big televisions in your living room or your bedroom and look at content. And I said a lot of times, if you can't come to New York, if you can't come to Brooklyn, we will bring Brooklyn to you. We're not only going to do this here, but we plan to do it worldwide, entertainment worldwide, things that I think people will love, because they can't make it a time maybe because they have to work or they have other things that have to do with their life. We're able to bring entertainment to you. And like I always said to you, the best way to view our content is one of the flat screen TV. I mean, it's good you look at it on your cell phone, but if you're looking at a video on your phone brand, you'll have to answer it. So just have your big screen TV and look at us. We're bringing the content that we know that you need at the end of the day. Like I said to you, one of the things I'll be doing in the winter, I plan to go on the street of Brooklyn for a month homeless. I'm going to document it, disguise myself so people wouldn't know who I am. Right? So for my viewers would know, but for other people they wouldn't know what is happening. Right? They look at love of what people do. I don't know if I should say that. Maybe I should even surprise people. I should just do it. But I want my viewers, to be honest with my viewers. What I plan to do with this channel at the end of the day. Just to bring contents and other information that we think worthy of at the end of the day. I saw too many pain in the world. I wanted to bring something like that with you at the end of the day. Rocky Junction Broadcasting Media Incorporated, LD Radio Brand. We're live right here. We're at the Greenhouse 2025. We're at the Greenhouse. If that move, if that shake, if that break, we're going to be in the park here a little later on today. We're going to commission, give you some of that scenery at the park, and then we're going to do drop Sight and Sounds. The celebration began. Everybody getting ready for tomorrow. We're on the Parkway. Tomorrow Walk of Life. We just want to bring some sight and sounds in. Godfrey Johnson, Broadcasting Media. Broadcasting Media, we're live trying to East 52nd and Church Avenue, East 52nd and Thompson. We're in the Sight and Sounds of the Greenhouse. It's a place where horses started by Canadians a couple of years ago. It's something we do every single night, and came looking actually one of the largest gathering before the Jab keeps serving up on another 4 hours. We started at I think at the Brooklyn Library, and that's on Flatbush Avenue. So for people who want to know where to begin the job, to get the Brooklyn Library, that's in Flatbush Avenue, because again they have to be judged. They go all around Empire, and there's a special place where you have to judge. And I don't want to give it the wrong information, but I want to get it for you right here. Alright? Godfrey Johnson, Broadcasting Media. We walk around a little bit. We're going to do just about 40 minutes with this, and then we're going to stop it and get ready for tomorrow. I've been out since morning. I was out since 6 this morning, so I got to go and get ready for 4 o'clock. You know I'm going to do it. also seeing video from Brazil, actually. So there's a lot of, from all walk of life, so you can say that they're from all walk of life. Represents broadcasting media. Again, we apologize for the lighting at some area. They do have street lights there. But some area are not going to time any light, so we apologize about the lighting and stuff like that. Also have some organization here that, doing some street work, maybe just talking to, help people to different organizations like mental health and other things that they do. They do it every Labor Day. They hit the street just to make people be aware of some of the issues that they deal with and let them know the resources and services that are available to them. Like I said, Jab and Labor Day becoming more of a place where people find resources at the end of the day. I mean, about you, later on in another 3 hours. I'm going to upload this video and then we're going to get out of here. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. Don't forget to please subscribe to the channel, Godfrey Johnson Broadcasting Media. Tell a friend about us, share it, send it to your friends and family. Let them know what a wonderful job we are doing within the country from here in New York and around the world. I'm going to make my way out of here. I'll show you the side and see out of East 53rd. Very sure what it looks like as I get out of here. Alright? Johnson Broadcasting Media. I'll get a radio back. I'll make my way out of here. like I said to you earlier, if you want to get in touch with me, you can do so. Send me an email, godfrey@godfreyjohnsonco.com. That's godfrey@godfreyjohnsonco.com. You can reach me at my personal email, ldtheradio@aol.com. That's ldtheradio@aol.com. It's a beautiful night right here in New York City, as always. It's Sunday, as a matter of fact, Sunday morning. Is it Sunday? Monday morning, I haven't get any sleep last night, so please bear with me. Monday morning here in New York City, because yesterday feel like Saturday, I don't know why. So Monday morning here in New York City, most people have to go to work today. Not everybody had the chance to get a day off, all right? But, we have the police here, starting on guard. We have a lot of police here, doing the thing, So as I just left there, I'll just show you the sight and sounds that I got out of that intersection. People still hanging out right here, Thank you again so much. When you're doing these vlogs, you have to be careful with the cameras. Not everybody like cameras in their face, so you have to be careful. This, as you see, people still coming in. And we got a couple thousand people that are there already, and it's still people still showing up. It's kind of early, as most people are already just dressed for their job. Alright, so I'm going to do this all the way to Utica, and then that way I can go home, take a shower, get to the rest, and get ready for come back and do the job later on today. This lady asked me to buy some food, and I don't want her. She's going to tell me, I told her I'm coming back.
Your chicken is going very fast. We are running out. We just have maybe one more pot.
The chicken is going fast. I gotta hide.
Yes, the jerk chicken is going very fast.
I gotta hide.
Come and get your jerk chicken. We have carrier, container, and bag. Do not take a chance to come back. Yes. The jerk chicken is going very fast. The rest of pasta, the barbecue chicken.
Big up.
Yes,
Alright. Big up.
Yes,
Hi to New York City. Actually, we're on Clarkston East 51st right now. Clarkston East 51st.
We got your food. Jerk chicken seasoned to the bone. Extra beef fish, lots of onion. Yes, lemon pepper to the tea.
Asian flag.
Nice and clean. Yes, what's on the menu? Jerk chicken.
What is your super classic
Fried chicken. Barbecue chicken. Yes, rice to beef. Extra beef chicken.
Alright, there you go. Hey, take down. Hey, sister. Take the barcode for the picture. Take the barcode for the barcode so you see yourself.
We have fish going very fast, but I'm getting the
Share it, right?
right at the corner.
Come on, right?
Because that's the avenue.
You get it?
Yes, the food.
Alright, look at them, alright?
tea, lots of peas in it.
Look at them in the house. Alright. Share it, link. Yeah. Well, I will New York City to the community as always. Godfrey Johnson Broadcasting Media Incorporated, LDD Radio brand. So I just leave the greenhouse and I make my way out. Look at the Jamaican flag. Look really good. The Jamaican flag. Look really good. Big up every time. Special good night to you right here in New York City and beyond. We're live right here. And like I said, people still going over to the greenhouse, but I had to leave that intersection there. You're going to get everything right here as I promised. Again, like I shared with you earlier, please subscribe to the channel. But one of the things that you want to do is to look at it as a big screen TV, maybe a 50-inch or 46-inch. You really get the excitement, the wide view of what the content that we put in here. We're not going to tell you what TV to buy. I don't know, I just love of this look, the Jamaican flag. The Grenada one look beautiful too, the Jamaican flag. I sold a lot of this, you know. It's just a nice look there. So we're live right here in New York City. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. Dr. Johnson Broadcasting Media Incorporated, LD, the radio brand. You can come to New York. We're going to bring New York to you. Always remember that anywhere in the world. So we exit off of Clarkson Avenue. We're walking down to Utica. This is our side right here. Get all the nice chicken.
The girl named Patsy, Patsy, she got tell. The girl named Julie, Julie, she got tell. The girl named Wendy, Wendy, Bobby, when the body ready, so come on me. Oh, yeah, me,
Dr. Johnson Broadcasting Media Incorporated, the Sight and Sounds of Brooklyn. We just left the greenhouse and we make our way down to Church Avenue here in New York City. They're 15 minutes so long in this video. I'm not going to do a lot of it. See, we have McDonald's here. I'm going to exit on Utica and Lenox Road. That way I could save some of the battery on my phone. Alright? So we're coming to the end of this vlog. We want to thank you again so much for spending another time right here at Godfrey Johnson Broadcasting Media. Please share the channel, like. We truly appreciate it. You know, you didn't have to subscribe to my channel, but you do. Thank you again so much. As always, have a wonderful night and may God truly bless you, keep you, and anything that you touch should turn to gold. Because I always said to you, I'm going to leave this with you every day. There is no better place to be when God is the only option. Good night.